So this evening, our theme is a universal law. I was looking back through some of my old notebooks from studying at the Chopra Center, and the page opened to the page that I obviously needed to see. There's a universal law of perpetual transmutation of energy. I know it's a mouthful. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy. And basically what this law says is that energy can't be created or destroyed, but it can be transferred or changed from one form to another. And we think of the physical body like we're one mass of vibrating cells. We are energy. Our breath is another form of energy that sustains us, keeps us alive. Emotions, which we have all been riding the emotional roller coaster lately, emotions are energy in motion. And I think that it's our purpose in life is to actually feel all those emotions. It's important that we don't deny any of them, but we have to be aware of when we get held captive by a certain emotion for too long. So today's theme is going to be from heaviness to stability. So we can feel a sense of heaviness. Maybe it's grief, sadness, discomfort, fear, but it feels like heaviness. We can take and transmute that into something more positive, like stability, feeling very stable and grounded. And that's my intention tonight, to guide you from, maybe you're not feeling heavy right now, but maybe down the road you remember this and you have that ability to switch it and transmute it. So we'll begin with a centering. I'm going to head on back to my mat, and we'll dive into our physical practice here. So find yourself a comfortable seat there. I'm just going to adjust a couple things. And once you're in your seat, just sit well and let your eyes close, or just look downward with a soft gaze. Maybe release your breath out with a sigh. Start to feel and check in with yourself. Feel the automatic quality of the breath. It's like this battery that runs, that supports us and gives us life continually, thank goodness. Just welcoming stillness into your body and dropping a little more deeply into your breath with your awareness. Just feeling perhaps the breath move through your nose, or maybe you meet up with it more in your belly or ribs. Where do you begin to notice and feel your breath? This energy moving inside of you. The energy of life. And then bring the hands together in front of the heart center. Let the head bow. And in every moment, it is our option and our privilege to create our own state of being. With your eyes closed, notice if there's anything that's weighing heavy on your mind or your heart right now. We're going to spend the next 75 minutes transmuting any heaviness into a deep and comforting level of stability in the body. We'll spend some time creating very grounded foundations in our series of movement. And hopefully find a very deep and sweet cadence with our breath. And throughout the class, I'll keep reminding you to create your state of being. As thoughts come into our consciousness, we can always transmute them by how we place our attention and where we place our attention. Bowing towards your heart, we ask that this practice be guided, supported, and uplifted by grace. And then lifting your head, release your hands and let your eyes come open. Right, this evening, I'll invite you to come to all fours position. If you do have two blocks, I would put them on either side of your mat up here towards where you'll be facing. And let's begin on your hands and knees. Specifically, place your fingers just like you normally would in all fours position, and then see about turning your hands either out or, if possible, all the way backwards. Maybe you decide to do one hand at a time, or if it's comfortable, go ahead and do both hands. And then just pause here, really pressing firmly into each fingertip, and a gentle, gentle rocking back and forth, just very, very subtle. And if that's too much, just be still. Start to tune into some deep breath. Evening out the weight distribution through your fingers. And now you may stay here. If it's too much on your wrists, by all means turn them back forward. Extend your right leg back, put your toes on the ground, and very gently slide back or reach back through your right heel. Pausing and breathing. And we'll switch legs now, right leg in, left leg back, and sliding back through your heel. And just feel, tonight especially, whatever's touching the ground, part of your stable base. So hands, your knee here, your foot, making strong connection. And then coming back on out of that. Turn your hands around forward, actually lift up and shake them out a little bit. And then inhale, stretch the arms on up, reach nice and high. We're going to slowly go out to a Balasana, child's pose. So you're going to come down, hands to the floor, and sitting your hips back. And pause here. Moving breath into the low back, low belly. And anchor all parts of your hand down, and inhale, rise, come up right on into cow pose as you lift and look slightly forward. And then exhale, round into cat pose. Breathing deep. Coming to neutral spine, swing both feet to the right. Look over the right shoulder. Receive an inhale here. And on your exhale, switch sides. Legs go to the left. Look over your left shoulder. Inhaling here. Exhaling back to center. Inhale, stretch up again. Exhale, open your chest as you slowly circle your arms down and release them down to your sides. So put your hands on your low back here and just gently slide the flesh down a little and roll your shoulders back, and just pausing here in a little mini back bend, opening up, and feel your feet, your shins, your knees as your stable base. So awareness stays downward tonight as much as we can. And then come back down and bring your hands right back where we started. Turn the fingers around backwards again, unless that doesn't feel right for you, but please just modify. And now here, you have options. You can stay right here again with a gentle rocking. You could bring one foot back and then the other, Or you could explore a little bit of plank pose in this position. Pausing here. And then lower your knees down. Turn the hands forward and take them out in front of your shoulders, and then please lift up to your first downward facing dog. And in this first down dog, let's keep our awareness in our hands right now. So really deeply submerge your hands down into the mat. Like feel that you are pushing the mat away from you, pushing the floor away. And as a result, your spine gets longer, your pelvis rises. And then once you're deeply rooted in that foundation, swing both heels and hips to the right a bit. Let the hips really fall over to the right side. Notice how the weight distribution perhaps changed in your hands. I'm feeling more weight in my right hand here. And now switch your heels and hips the opposite direction. Stay focused on a slow, steady breath. And coming back to center. Inhale forward to your first plank. You can lower the knees if you need to. Exhale, lower down all the way to your abdomen. Bring the hands down by your hips. Look downward, chin resting on the floor. And then roll the shoulders up. Inhale, lift the upper body only at this point. Looking down so you have a long neck. And exhale, lower down briefly. Inhale, lifting up again, upper body. Add the legs this time, little tiny lift, warming up. And then exhale, lower down. Bring the hands back by your chest, please. Push up and back to downward facing dog. Connecting with your breath there. Starting to get warm in this little room. And now from here, you can stay in down dog. You could go back to child's pose if that's calling to you tonight, or you can extend your right leg up into extended down dog. Now, as we talked about earlier, really deeply press your hands down into the mat. Let that help you extend your leg. Guide your left hip back a little, and then float the right leg down to the mat. Inhale, left side up when you're ready. Exhale, extend from your shoulders through your arm bones into your hands. See how that affects the rest of your body when you deeply connect. And then lower the left leg down. And let's all meet up in a child's pose now. Knees wide, sit back, and pause with your breath here. And lifting back up, please, into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then anything that feels heavy in your, excuse me, in your life, go ahead and place it in your hands and feel and use it as stabilizing energy. Just really gonna stabilize myself here with that denseness. And then from here, walk your hands back to your feet, arriving in your forward bend, and truly lift and flare the toes, and then splay them out and put them back down. And I know we all feel our feet on the ground, but what happens if we intentionally ground down? We press all parts of the feet down, like you're pushing the floor away from you. Try bending your knees a little bit, and now push your seat back further. And now intentionally, as you straighten your legs, push down through your feet. Push and then lift, halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, bow, come back down. Activate through your foundation as you push down, come halfway up, lengthening your spine. And then exhale, coming all the way back down. Let the head fold in. Use your block if that's helpful. bend your knees a bit. Bring your hands to your hips, lift your shoulders, and rise. Come all the way up to standing. All right, walk on forward to the front of your mat. This is where the blocks will come in handy through this next little flow. Have them on either side, especially if your hamstrings are a little tighter. So hands to heart center, and be very intentional with your foundation. Inhale, extend your arms up, little gentle back bend, and then exhale, forward fold, coming all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, extend your spine long, and exhale, bow. Please step your right leg back to a lunge. Lower your back knee down to the floor, and if you're going to use blocks, I would bring them either side, flanking your ankle here. Inhale, stretch up to Anjali, and then exhale, come down and lightly touch the floor or the blocks. Now this next time, we're going to do the same thing. See if we can get the mind more involved. As we lift the arms, can you keep your awareness down in your feet, your legs, your pelvis, right? So think I'm grounding down even though I'm lifting up. My focus, my tension is staying in this place of cultivating more stability. And then exhale, come down, touch the blocks. Now shift the hips back so you can straighten the front leg and have Hanumanasana. And from here, anchor your heel and draw the leg back like you're retracting it into your socket. Draw up through the rib cage just gently and lengthen your heart forward. And then let the breath help you open. Soft, slow, steady breath. Releasing any heaviness with your exhalation and just transmuting that into stability. One more full cycle of breath. Tune into your breath. And now stretch forward through your chest as you begin to rise. Please slide your front foot back and ground it. And then lift your back leg up so high that you can come into pyramid pose. Now, if you're using blocks and you need to, you can come up higher on your blocks. So just know you have all kinds of options there. From here, draw your right hip, your back hip forward, and then push your thighs back, your pelvis back, but stretch forward through your spine. And I find it helpful, whether my fingers are on the ground or a block, try to isometrically drag your fingers back. It's a little backward action that helps you extend your spine. And you can stay lengthening forward like this, or if your body allows, you can start to drift down over your leg a little. Breathing as we hold a couple more rounds of breath. Check in on your front foot, the inside edge, the inner heel, anchor it down. The big toe mound, anchor it down. One more breath. And then please bend your front leg, step forward, and we'll take a moment to switch sides. So left leg comes back, lower the back knee down. Now we know, keep our awareness down, rooted in the legs, feet, legs, and pelvis as you rise. So the arms float up, but your attention is pressing down, staying grounded. Exhale, touch down lightly. We'll go back up a second time. Inhale, awareness stays rooted down. Exhale, hands to the block or the floor. Shift the hips back to half split. You might even have to pick your front foot up and move your heel forward a little bit. And then press the front heel down. Draw the leg back into the socket, so it's just this very subtle movement. Engage through the core, so you're collecting the ribs up into you, and lengthen forward. So I always think, bring my toes towards my heart and my heart towards my toes, extending. Layer your toes on your right foot. See how that feels. pausing here. Anything that's returning into your mind that is unsolvable, unshakable, unthinkable, just keep putting it into your foundation. Keep releasing it into the floor. All that heaviness is just energy, and we can use it and transmute it as we wish. So slide your front foot back, lift your pelvis. Notice the heel is lifted on the back foot. That's fine for this variation. And draw your left hip forward slightly. Anchor down through the big toe side of your front foot and the inner heel. And then if you try to drag your blocks or your hands back isometrically, feel how that helps you extend forward more, elongating your spine. Deep breath here. The breath is our ally. You can stay lengthening, or you can start to explore different position. Just listen in, what feels good for you. On the exhale, I like to think, just burrow my feet down into the mat a little bit more. And then on your next inhale, lift your torso. Please take your blocks off to the side and make your way back to downward facing dog. Anchor through the hands, strong arms, and then bring your awareness back to your feet this time. Flare your toes and really press firmly through the balls of the feet. Put a little tiny bend in both knees, and then extend your spine, lift your pelvis higher. Try to create a little lumbar curve, so stick your sitting bones up more. And in the middle, you guys know this, I'm just here to remind you, draw your ribs up into the body so you're connected. And now from here, lift the right leg up. And you don't have to lift it, you can just step your right leg forward when you're ready. And bring it all the way up into a deep lunge. Now I'm going to turn and face the other direction so I can see you. So from here, spin your back heel down to the floor. And if you want to block, you can just keep it right behind your left ankle here. I guess it's your right, I told you to do right, didn't I? So then I'm going to come over here. I said right leg, so I'll mirror you. So from here, come up into Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. And just check to make sure your front foot is straight. Yeah. So start with your forearm on your thigh and make sure the legs are really steady. So we're going to drop our strong attention downward into the feet and legs. And pause here. Ever so slightly, guide your bottom and the top of your thigh here back, and then engage your core and lengthen through your spine. Now you can reach to the block or the floor, or keep your forearm on your thigh, and then keep your awareness down in your feet and legs as the arm just floats up. Often when our arms go up, our attention goes up, but tonight we are keeping our mind focused on stability and grounding. Holding here, all of these standing postures create and cultivate such strength. And on your next breath out, slowly touch down to the mat. Step back through downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, please lift your left leg up. Left leg to the ceiling, and swing the leg all the way forward and up. Then spin the back heel down, come up forearm on the thigh, and then just be content right here with cultivating strong legs, a strong, steady base, so the winds of life don't blow us over quite so easily. Even try to draw your feet towards one another, and then take your thigh back, your pelvis back a little. Engage your abdomen, long spine, and you're focusing downward even as the arm floats up and over. You can stay forearm to thigh or reach to your block or the floor. I lost my block. Rooting strong into the back leg, it tends to sag like this, so keep it lifted. And now from here, circle your arm down, and once again, step back to downward facing dog. Lifting the hips high, connect to breath. And then once again, lift your right leg on up. Bring it forward up between your hands. Spin your back heel down and come up to Virasan 2 this time. So similar legs, of course, but just put your hands on your pelvis and actually squeeze your pelvis and anchor down, push down. And then grow tall, long spine out of that. And then we're gonna do a little exploration tonight. Most of us are going to our normal happy place right now, like this is my warrior 2. But what if, with our breath, we explore a little bit deeper with our breath? So inhale, there's a rising. Exhale, there's a releasing down, just a fraction. Stay at that point. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, maybe go a little bit deeper. Notice what you feel. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, explore a little bit deeper. What if we come out of our comfort zone? Press through your feet, all parts of your feet. And then if you want to float the arms up, great. If not, just keep them on your hips. Holding here, breathing. And now reverse warrior from here. And let's straighten the front leg on this reverse warrior variation. So it's fully straight. Reach up and back. Ask yourself, am I breathing here? And then just like we're going to do a little cartwheel, come all the way down, bend the front leg. Please spin the back foot up and step back to a downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up as you're ready. Bring it on through. Pause here, back foot down. Take your time, coming on up. Hands on the hips. So I like to look to make sure the heel of the front foot lines up with the center of the arch of the back foot. And then let's explore with the breath. 3 breaths here. So inhale, we lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, explore bending just a fraction deeper, and then stay in that new place. Inhale again. Exhale a little deeper. Inhale, you may already be at your deepest point, so hang there with your breath. What if we float the arms on top of that stable base? The arms are like effortless here. Slowly straighten your front leg. Reverse warrior with straight legs. And then inhale, come up, please. Come all the way down. Spin onto the back foot and step back downward facing dog. One more time. Lower your knees down, please. And sit back into pose of a child. Let your hands rest under your forehead. And let your entire body just get heavy like a boulder. Just feel your forearms release into the mat, your shin bones, the tops of your feet. Releasing any extra heaviness through your breath out. Back up again. One more standing posture here. Bring the arms forward, come back up to downward facing dog. And so lift your right leg up and take it forward. Bend your back heel down and grab a block behind your front ankle here. Bring the hand to your hip and then just pause here in this position looking down. Lift and spread the toes on the front foot and just really anchor the foot itself. And then try to draw your feet towards one another and feel your inseam of your leg power up. Oops, I think something happened. I lost you. Are we still there? Someone chat to me if I disappeared. I saw some kind of something pop up on the screen. I'm assuming we're still connected. Meanwhile, you're holding in that position going, holy buckets. Okay, hopefully we're still together. Okay, here, okay, thank you. When you see things flash up, you're like, oh no, it must be something wrong. Here we are, let's get going. So press your thighs and buttocks back. Thank you for holding that pose. And then slowly straighten your front leg, slowly straighten. Engage your abdomen, roll the top shoulder back, and you can stay here with your hand on your hip or extend up into Trikonasana. Now, let's explore or check in. How grounded are we? Firmly press your feet down. I like to get that power from here. So from your core and from your pelvis, push energy down your legs. And here's your experiment. Can you lift the bottom arm off the floor? See if that's, or off your block. See if you're really anchored in your pelvis and your legs. And bring it back down. And then circle your arm down. Good job. Step back to your down dog. And let's switch sides here. Lift your left leg up, I believe. Bring it forward. Back heel down. Promise I won't leave you hanging there so long this time. Bring the hand on your hip. Look down at your front foot, lift the toes, and drag your heels towards each other, your feet towards each other. In keeping that action, push your pelvis back and then slowly straighten your front leg with your pelvis back. Now engage your abdomen, ribs back, start to twist and open, top shoulder comes back, and then anchor your attention down. The arm is just like this sweet little exclamation point, but your attention is down. Your feet are like suction cups. Creating strength, stability, unwavering steadfastness. And then you can engage your abdomen more and do that little experiment, only if you want. Well, maybe it's just your fingers slightly off. Maybe you're like, nope, that's not, I'm not going there tonight, that's okay. And then bring it on back down. Circle the arm. We're gonna step forward this time. So bring your feet together and then bow into a forward fold. And pause and forward fold. And now from here, bend your knees, coming into chair pose. Lift your arms on up and out in front of your chest. Remember that we are creating our state of being right now through what we're doing with our thoughts, our awareness, our attention. So on purpose, let your face be soft. Let yourself go to a place of not being reactive. Just like, here I am, I got this. I'm not gonna overreact. I'm not gonna worry about how long I might have to be here. You can come out at any time. Holding here for 2 more breaths if you can. And then slowly come all the way up, stretch high, and circle the arms down to your sides. All right, let's stand on your left foot and bring the right leg into Bakasana, frog pose. So if you need to grab a belt and put it around your foot, you could do that. Or you might just, if the foot isn't available, just do this position and work on balance. So know that you can make it your own. If you can find the foot, hold it. And you can take the left arm to a wall if you want, or up above your head. A little bend in your standing knee, and see if you can take your bottom back a little. Nice tone, awareness through your abdominals and a length through your spine. See if you can slide your shoulder blade on your back, the blade that's holding the foot on that side. And let's switch sides. Release and stand on your right foot now. Bring your left leg up. Either do some type of balance action or hold the foot. And roll the shoulder back. Shoulder blade just nestles right on the back there. I can hear the rain hitting on the windows here. All the flowers are going to just keep popping out. Everything's going to get greener and greener. And let's shake that out and release. All right, find a belt. If you don't have a belt, you certainly can just clasp your hands or put your hands on your low back. So I feel like using a belt tonight, but you can decide what works for you. So taking the feet, the legs wide, feet straight ahead, please. Bring the belt behind you. And then remember, our focus is down, is feet, legs, pelvis, heavy. Roll the shoulders back. And right here, before you even start to go forward, just for a moment, lift and spread your toes and feel how the muscles on your legs, of course, get more active. Keep the muscles on your legs active as you let the toes come back to the floor. Engage your abdomen, and then really strong, steady legs. They're like pillars. They're like pillars of concrete, and you're bending forward freely because you know they're going to hold you. They're stable. Press the knuckles up towards the ceiling, and if you're holding a belt, try to rotate your palms to face each other. And if you're interlacing your hands, just squeeze your fingers firmly together. And if your hands are on your hips, just keep your shoulder blades on your back if you can. Deep breath. Each inhalation, recharge your legs. Each exhale, let your spine lengthen and release. Inhale, pressing any heaviness down and transmuting it into stability. Exhale, feel the freedom in your spine and shoulders. One more breath. Keep your legs steady, unwavering. And bring the belt to your low back or the hands to your low back. And now we're not coming up yet. I'm going to invite you to bend your knees a little bit. Push your seat back just a fraction. And then start to stretch your heart forward about halfway like a pranam. And then go back down. Once you arrive, now straighten your legs again. Re-straighten. Head releases. You can take the belt and just release it down to the floor and let your fingertips touch. And then we'll slowly start to bring the feet towards one another. Heel toe. Nice and slow. And then when you arrive at a hip distance, bend your knees. Hands to your upper thighs, right above your knees, and lift your chest up. Holding here with a nice lumbar curve. It's telling me that my internet connection is, there we go. I'd like to know on your end if I'm freezing up, or it keeps saying I have a bad internet connection tonight. I don't know. Maybe everything's good. Let's move on. I'll assume that it is. So coming down to the floor for a moment, we're going to get down here, and then we have another set to do. So in this next posture, which is super grounding posture, I don't teach it a lot for many reasons. It just takes, when you have a large group of people in class, sometimes it takes a while to get there, but we can do this and we can modify if we need to. So you might need a couple blocks or even a blanket. The pose is Virasan or hero pose. Your knees may say, that's not in my wheelhouse. And if that's the case, you can just omit it altogether. And I would suggest for a substitute that you come onto your back and do this hip opener. I have a needle, okay? So that would be a substitute, or anything else you want to do. I'm going to show you the back here. So my feet, you want to make sure the feet are straight, not turned in like this. So no turning in, we call it sickling. Keep the feet straight. And you can either put a block under your bottom, or 2 blocks, or sit your bottom all the way on the floor between your feet, not on your feet. So I'll let you play around with that for a moment and see, am I gonna go on my back and do that other hip opener, or am I gonna try Virasan, where the feet are straight back, regardless of whether you're on a block or not. And just make sure that the toes are spread and you're really pressing the toenails down. The knees are straight out, so they're not splayed apart. And then for some, we might just stay right here. Heavy pelvis, tall spine. Some of you might want to explore and walk back to your elbows, as long as your knees don't pop up. If they come up, then I would just come back up. And so find a position either on a block. It'd be nice if you feel stretched through your quadriceps. So if you go too high on blocks, you won't feel much. It's also very beneficial. In Chinese medicine, the energy meridians go down through our thighs. So it can be very beneficial for our digestive meridians go down through our thighs. And so this posture can really help with digestion. You can also go down all the way if you'd like, or stretch your arms over the head. Whew, it's a deep stretch. If you're on your back, make sure you've switched sides by now to the other leg. And when you decide to come up, if you're down there, just come up slowly. And this is going to feel good for everyone. Come forward onto your hands and knees and extend your right leg back. If you're on your back, just meet up with us here. Toes on the floor, stretch back. And then switch to left leg, toes on the back, or toes on the floor. All right, our next little movement series will keep us low to the ground with some humble pose and some twists in there as well. So take the hands out in front of you and we'll come through downward facing dog, lifting on up. You might want to block up towards the front of your mat, maybe on your left side here. Lift your right leg up towards the ceiling and bring it on forward up into a deep lunge. And then lower the back knee down. So this is a little bit different. With your back foot, place the top of the foot down. So normally we curl it under for a little more stability, but I want you to feel it in a different way tonight. So top of the foot down, really press it down with intention. Even feel like you're trying to drag the back foot forward, the back knee forward a little. So you can stay there. Notice I have a hand on the ground here. You can put a block under it. Or you could explore, what does it feel like to lift my back knee with my foot in that position? Moving into a whole different arena in the leg. And then release it down. We'll move into humble pose. So move your front foot over to the right side of your mat and arms are on the inside. And you're welcome, of course, to bring a block under your left forearm here. Let the head bow into humble pose. And pause here. Every day we're in charge of our state of being. We can redirect the energy into something more positive if we're aware. And that's one of the beauties of yoga. It teaches us awareness. So we're not walking through life asleep. So you can stay right here or start to twist and put your right hand on your top knee. And from there, you can turn and look up towards the ceiling. You might stay here or curl the back toes back under like we normally do and lift the back leg up. Another variation, and just turn and see what that feels like. You're welcome to keep your knee down always. Lower the back knee. Come back to face the mat. You're gonna place your hands down, and for here, just swing your right leg around and lift back up to downward facing dog. And now the second side, lift your left leg up as you're ready. Take your time, bring it forward. You might want to put your block over here on the right. Lower down and bring that top of the foot down. Click the toenails down. Try to drag the back foot forward a little. And then you can explore maybe lifting the back knee a tiny bit or lift the back thigh up. It's important to stretch the top of the foot as well. We do so much on the back side. Doesn't always feel so great though. And then come back down. Now we'll go into humble pose. So you can use your block if you want under your forearm. Move your front foot a little bit over to the left to widen your pelvis. And fall back into your breath here. Keep feeling your foundation, deepening down with your awareness. One more breath. And then make your way back up. Curl the toes under. Lift the back leg. Step back. Downward facing dog. Lower the knees down to the mat. And let's transition onto our seat here. So you could use your arms. I like to give you options because we're all different, right? We can't expect to fit into one size fits all pose. So one option is I'm going to teach you a boat pose tonight with the arms wrapped under the legs. So you might be able to do this or maybe just wrists. And if that's not comfortable, you could also do belt on the feet. Okay, so belt on the feet would look like this where you're pulling back. And if you want to try the other option, you'll bring the arms underneath and start to lean back. So I'm going to leave it up to you. If you want that belt idea, go ahead and put it on your feet and lift up here. So two actions are happening. I'm squeezing my legs towards me, but my leg bones are pushing strong against my arms. So there's a two-way action to create some stability here. And then let your pelvis drop really, really heavy, like a boulder again. Boulder pelvis here. Heavy, heavy, heavy. You can stay here, arms pulling back, legs pushing forward. You can see about floating the legs a little bit more up. Still has that, you have that two-way action going on. Flare your toes, lift up through your spine. Legs are working, the pelvis is stable. Now see if you can take your arms out. Oh my. Now see if you can pat your head and rub your stomach. And then come all the way down. Good job. And you can take your feet as wide as your mat from here. So take your arms on the inside of your legs and just fold gently forward here a little bit. Let your thumbs come together and lightly touch the space between your eyebrows, the third eye region. And then breathe your full attention into your low back, expanding your back ribs, your back waistline. Just enjoy one more deep breath here. And then lifting your torso on up. Okay, coming into our stomach now for this last sequence. And some of this will be familiar from the last couple weeks, and some might be new. So come on to your tummies. Oh, this feels good. So stack your hands on top of one another, and then please place your forehead on your hands. And once you're there, just take a deep breath in. Exhale, let your belly turn into jelly and release into the floor. And maybe even subtly rock your pelvis side to side. Give yourself time to land. And we'll be transitioning here with our right leg. So just slide your right knee up into mountain climber. Flex your foot out here, just bring it to your comfort level. And then you can stay here, just giving you 3 different options. If this feels really comforting, just keep your head down. If you want to explore the second option, come to Sphinx pose. So you'll turn your elbows underneath your shoulders, draw back with your elbows and forearms while stretching forward through your spine. And this left leg, the straight leg, really press the top of the foot down like you did a little bit ago when we were in that Anjali top of the foot pressed down. Now you can stay here. Option 3 takes it a little bit deeper, where you separate your hands, open your elbows, and then you slowly start to twist over your right shoulder. Look over the right shoulder. Be mindful that you're not overusing your arms here. So we don't want to override the back. Don't want to push it into a place that it is maybe not wanting to go. So the arms are here for stability, not to really force. And now come back center. Lengthen your spine as you come down. And bring your leg back down. Stack the hands under your forehead. Please slide your left leg up now into mountain climber. And just give yourself time to feel. Let your forehead rest on your hands. Feel your belly resting against the floor. That's always very comforting. And now you can stay here or come up into Sphinx pose. Palms pressed down, draw the elbows back and stretch long through your spine. You might even explore taking your ribs back into your body, just like a very subtle bowing action here. And that right leg, the long leg, is super active. You can stay here or widen your hands and just do a gentle lift and twist, looking over your left shoulder. Someone told me this is Salamander Pose. I'm like, I did not know that. And then come back to the center. Stick your tongue out. Isn't that what salamanders do? And come back down. I don't know. I vaguely remember salamanders in 8th grade science, but that's all I know about them. All right, here we go. I'm going to take your right arm out to the side. It's a great opening through our shoulder and the pectoral muscle, and the bicep even, and the forearm. So instead of going straight out, we know to go just a little bit above that, palm down. Please bend your left arm and place it on the floor by your chest like a cobra. Bend the left leg. Start to roll to the right side of your body and just go slow here. Give your arm time to acclimate. The leg can drift behind you. If you feel like you're going to fall over, just move your bottom leg forward a little. And keep your head down for now, right side of the head on the floor. And you're twisting, breathing, putting your ear to the earth here. You want to experiment and feel something different. Your right palm, just lift the palm off the floor, flex at the wrist joint, and feel what happens there. Whew. Couple more breaths. Be mindful that you're not over pushing with your left hand. So you're not trying to force that shoulder joint to go deeper than it needs to go. This left hand is just for stability, not overriding the shoulder joint. We're going to come back to center now, so just slowly unroll. Let your belly come back down. Oh, and that feels so good when you come out of it. Let's do the other side. So left arm out and slightly forward, please. Right hand by your hip, or by your chest, that would be your chest. Then bend your right leg and slowly start to roll to your left side. Keep the head rest down for this variation. And breathe. If you'd like to, you can lift the palm, the left palm off the floor, just bending at the wrist crease. Make sure you're still breathing. Last full breath here. And then very slowly come back to your tummies. Release the arms down. And one last thing here on our stomach. Interlace the fingers behind your back, legs long and strong. Roll your shoulders up onto your back, and then inhale, just lift. It doesn't have to be high. Just lift and extend forward through the crown of your head. And then lower back down. Release your hands. And we're gonna flip over like a pancake now. So just roll over onto your back. Flip over like a flapjack. And bring the legs in towards your chest. Let yourself go into that very nurturing cradle rock where you just subtly move the legs side to side, or perhaps even go in a gentle circular motion. And pausing in the place of the middle. Let your feet drip down to the floor. Just feel your toes, balls of your feet, the heels, everything landing. Arch your low back, excuse me, slightly away from the floor, so create a little space in your lumbar. Press the back of your head down, enough so that you could slightly lift your chest. So I'm pressing through my elbows too, and just escorting the shoulder blades a little bit more onto the back here. It's a nice comforting base for the heart and chest. And then bring the feet together and let them open into Supta Baddha Konasana. So we have a nice arch in the low back, a nice openness through the chest. And the hands can either rest on the low belly or on the floor, whatever feels comfortable. And then invite your eyes to close. And let your awareness drop deeper and deeper inside. Feel the energy of your breath moving through you. Bringing life force to every cell, every little part of you. hearing the thunderstorm where you are. Just pausing here for another minute. If you can stay oh so focused on your breath. Like the breath is soothing. It's like a lullaby to your nervous system. Feeling your belly rise on the inhale and slightly descend or fall on the exhale. Laying down any residual heaviness that's still present. And just let it know that it can change form, move into just being stability for you, groundedness, strength. And as you're ready now, just move your legs. Slide one leg out towards the corner of your mat. Slide the other leg out. Let your arms go wherever they're comfortable. And you are oh so ready. Hopefully feeling calm and grounded and prepared for a deeper rest. Let yourself receive that. Let yourself receive some deep nourishment. Feel the parts of you that are heaviest against the floor. Perhaps the back of your head, your upper shoulder region, the back of your hands, elbows, your pelvis, the lower legs and heels. Giving yourself permission, breath by breath, to sink a little deeper into the nourishment of Shavasana. See if it's possible, as you witness your breath, to extend the out breath. So intentionally slow down the release of your breath. Pressing the pause button on your world right now. You deserve this time out. continuing to rest in stillness. Let these words seep into your mind and your soul. Thoughts and feelings do not have power over you until you give them power by forgetting your nature. You are the ocean. They are the ever-changing waves. You are the unfathomable sky. They are the passing clouds. You are the uncontained container. They are temporary guests in your infinite embrace. Thoughts and feelings are not you, friend, but you are vast enough to hold them, to allow them to come and go, arise and fall, emerge, stay for a while, and subside into deep sleep. You remain awake. It's by Jeff Foster. It's kind of far out to think that we have the ability to transmute energy, to take our thoughts and emotions that might not be serving us and transfer them or change their shape into something more beneficial or positive. The law of perpetual transformation of energy. Beginning to breathe a little deeper now. Let the breath create a sense of awakening as you start to explore movement through your fingers or toes. Please, please, please take your time. And as you're ready, bring the knees towards your chest, rolling to your right side. Receive a breath there. And then making your way on up to your final seat. And as you come into your seat and we bring closure to our practice, I'm going to invite you to take a mudra with your hands. So mudra are hand positions that have a positive energetic effect on our bodies and our energy. So take your right hand and wrap your hand around your left index finger. Just squeeze your left index finger. And then the three fingers that are sticking up on your left hand, just close them on top of your right fist. And so you're in this shape. Everything just nestled together in a little cluster. And bring the hands down right here on your lap. And then let the eyes close. And just hold this mudra for a minute of silence. Very grounding mudra. And once again, escort your full awareness down, down, down to your feet, excuse me, your legs, your pelvis, and the hand mudra. Notice how you feel. releasing the hands and bring them into Anjali Mudra. Namaste. The head bowed towards the heart. And just take this last moment to solidify the connection. That the next time you feel a heaviness, see that you can reconfigure it and use it for stability. Through your thoughts, your actions, your breath, your movement, your intention. And with much respect and love, I bow to the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you, my friends, for showing up tonight. Join me Saturday morning if you'd like at 8:30 for another little yoga fix with a whole different practice and theme if you want to get a double this week. And if you're interested in the Monday morning meditation, the community calm, I'd love to have you join us. It's free 9 o'clock on Mondays. You can just send me an email and I'll send you the link. So someone's saying they can see me, but the screen is blank. Oh, did everybody go blank? With the storm, we might have all had some interesting connections tonight. Can anyone send me a chat and just tell me if I blanked out on you? Yeah, okay, thanks. And then also love your input about if you are feeling like you want to come back to the studio right now, or if you're like, let's pause a little bit longer, just trying to get a feel for where people are at. I did freeze for a minute, okay. Am I freezing now? Okay, good. Thanks for the input. Okay. I can freak you out. Am I freezing now? Oh, okay.